Hello and welcome back to another lecture from organic chemistry. We're talking about these other reactions. We said that they do have a stereospecificity, and also in order to run the reaction, we need to have electron withdrawing group and a dienophile and a molecule. And the diene must be in S-cis configuration. Okay, we practiced those. I'm not going to go through them again. And what do we have here? We have the molecule that we're talking about here is the dienophile, and there is an electron withdrawing group attached to it. And this is our diene. And from 1 to 2, I'm rotating the molecule until I reach the 3, where you see perfect alignment between them. And I have to say this, that we do have p orbital there on, let's say, 1 and 4, and those p orbital are supposed to interact with the p orbital of the dienophile, and then the interaction is going to be head-to-head interaction, and it will give us a sigma. So we want to turn this interaction to sigma interaction. And as you see, they are getting closer and closer. So very soon we're going to have interaction between those, and it turns to sigma interaction. And the one that I want to talk about it is not like the sigma actual interaction, the position of this substituent. And now, as you see, we are, like from 1 to 2, we're going to move, technically, we're going to move the double bond. The double bond is going to move here. This one is going to move there. And this double bond is going to move there. So very soon, and we're going to get, technically, we're going to get a double bond somewhere here. And that double bond that we have here, it will turn to sigma. Okay, so I'm not going to have that one. So the new double bond, it will be there between carbon number 2 and 3. Let's draw that double bond. The new double bond is between these two carbon. Okay, now on those two carbon, we're going to have p orbitals. And here you go. One p orbital here and another p orbital there. And interaction between those two, it will give us a pi bond. Now, if the group, the yellow group that we have, is a, let's say, a functional group that it can have a pi star orbital, or like anything with sp2 or sp1 hybridization. In that case, okay, can have a p orbital there, and this p orbital might interact with the p orbital of the new pi bond, and that's going to stabilize the transition state. And so very soon it will donate some electron density there, and it will help it to get established. What does it mean? It means the activation energy will go down if we get some donation and some interaction between the substituent that we have and the new double bonds. Okay, now what will happen if we have 2 of those substituents? And in that case, and again, we will take carbon number 5 and we will send it up. Technically, I just folded the molecule, and now this one will be carbon number 1, that's carbon number 4, and here I'm going to have the dienophile, and it has 2 substituents attached to it, and C double bond with O, and then hydrogen, again C double bond with O and hydrogen. Okay, we will have interaction. We have a double bond here, so very soon we will have interaction there. Okay, and that's going to turn to 1 molecule, and one technocyclic molecule, and because we have 2 ring, we can call it bicyclo, and our product will be something like this. Okay. And okay, 1 down, down, and this one will be up, up. Okay, so I'm gonna have the CHO up, CHO up, then hydrogen, hydrogen. Okay, what was the reason behind it? I told you, go with this, use this trick, anything on the left, and just simply show it at the bottom of the molecule, and the stuff that they are on the right, they will be up. Or we can get the non-tumor of this one. And what's a non-tumor? A non-tumor, it will have this geometry. We're going to change position of the functional groups. Okay, so the non-tumor is going to be something like this. Let me erase that one. Okay, and then this time I will move those 2, put them down. So I will get CHO, CHO, hydrogen, and hydrogen. Okay, so now we got 2 isomers, and what's the difference between them? The difference between the position of position of those functional group. Of course, we have a double bond here. I forgot to draw that one. Now let's compare the position of those 2 functional group relative to the double bond. In one case, they are far from it, so I'm going to call them exo. Okay, and you can say that those 2 functional group are exiting technically the plane. They are going up, and here the 2 functional groups are closer to the double bond. Well, that one, they were far from double bond and cross off it. So in this case, I'm going to call it endo. So we have exo and endo, and this one is our bridge, which is CH2, CH2. Okay, so we got two structures, and we want to know like whether there is any difference between them, like in energy or not. Okay, we get two structures, as you see, endo and exo. In endo, like the functional groups are closer to the double bond. In exo, they are far from the double bond. And it says if you put the functional groups in endo position, and then, or if they show up in endo position, that product will be the major one. And in exo position, it will be minor product. What's the reason behind it? The reason, it has something to do with the transition state. And apparently we have two activation energy, and one of them is going to be lower, and because it's lower, you get you get more product from it. And what's the reason behind it? The reason behind it, it has to do with the fact that you have, if we zoom here, you have a double bond, CO double bond, and that double bond, okay, it has p orbitals. And here you are trying to build a new pi bond there. That new pi bond, it can have interaction with those, and like in those actual functional groups, they can stabilize the the new pi bond, and it will technically, they will drop the activation energy. But what will happen if we put them in exo position? If they are in exo position, and here, okay, here where we have the new pi bond, well, that's a place of our functional group with p orbital, and as you see, they are way far from the double bond, so they're not going to really help the transition state. And another way to look at it, okay, we saw this one before, and now I added CH2 to it just to show that I'm dealing with the cyclopentadiene, and also I replaced that yellow atom to a functional group like CO, and from 1 to 2, I'm just again rotating the molecule, and until I reach to number 3. When I reach to number 3, now I have this. I have this orbital sitting on carbon and also on oxygen. That orbital, it can have interaction with the p orbitals of the double bond that we have in number 3. Remember, on number 3, those two double bonds, they will be gone, and the new double bond, it will be here. So our p orbitals will be located there. Now we can have interaction with those orbital, and the more you have from those interaction, the more stabilization and the transition state will get. So functional group, any functional group with a pi orbital, it can stabilize the transition state, and the activation energy will go down. That means you will get more product from that specific configuration. And this is the reason that an endo is more is the major product compared to the exo. Okay, now we say endo has lower transition state, and the reason behind it, we said because we get more stabilization when the functional groups are close to the double bond. Well, in case of exo, they are not helping us. Yes, the LOMO or the lowest unoccupied orbital on the dienophile, it will go down because the fact that we have the electron withdrawing group, but still activation energy is big enough, and that's the reason exo is going to take a while for it to get it. But exo is more stable. Why more stable? Because you will have less steric effect when it comes to exo. Now, until now, the example that I practiced, I designed them in a way that we're not going to have, like a different possibility when it comes to the product. What do I mean by that? I mean, I picked, one of them, technically one of them, either, the diene or dienophile. I picked it in a way that it has symmetry. And because it has symmetry, you're going to get technically like one type of, product, and plus an enantiomer of it. But what will happen if we don't have, let's say, symmetry, and then both the diene and the dienophile? In that case, we will get two products plus their enantiomers, and in one of them, maybe it will be major, and the second, of course, is going to be the minor. And what's the reason behind it? That's going to be a subject of the next lecture. But for now, thank you very much.